All right, we're going to do an example involving the sinusoidal model. So in 2011, the Singapore Flyer was the largest Ferris wheel in the world. The table below gives the height of a rider from the ground at different times. So at 0 minutes, the rider is 49 feet above the ground. At 9.25 minutes, the rider is 295 feet above the ground, etc. Now, similar to other questions that you've done that are like this, you want to enter this data into your calculator so that you can model the data using a graph. So you can open up your TI-84 and you're going to enter the data into your L1 and L2. So press on Stat, go to number 1, Edit, and insert that data into L1 and L2. So your time is going to go into L1, 0, 9.25, 18.5, etc. And your height is going to go into L2, so 49, 295, 541, etc. Make sure that you're entering the data correctly. Once you've done that, you're going to press Second Stat Plot. You're going to go into the first stat plot and you're going to highlight on and press Enter. So make sure that your stat plot is turned on and you want the first one, the scatter plot, to be highlighted. And you want the X values to be coming from L1 and the Y values to be coming from L2. So the default should be set to L1 and L2. Once you've set that up, you're going to press Zoom 9, which is Zoom Stat, and that's going to make the graph an appropriate window for your data. Now, as you can see, this has a nice wave-like pattern. So when you see that nice wave-like pattern, you should assume that this graph is following, most likely, a sinusoidal function. So now you can represent this sinusoidal function with a line. So you're going to go into Stat, you're going to scroll right to Calc, and if you just scroll up one, that's actually going to go to the end of the list, and we can scroll up 2 to Sine Regression. So we're going to choose Sine Regression because we know that this has that nice sinusoidal pattern. You're going to press Enter. You can leave iterations as 3. The important part is that you have your L1 is your X list, L2 is your Y list, and make sure that for Store Regression Equation, you press vars, scroll right to yvars, function, y1. That way your equation will get stored into y1 and you don't have to input it manually. Then you can scroll down to calculate. Okay, so this is giving us our equation. It says that our A, so our amplitude, is 246 feet. Our B value is 0.169. Our C value is negative 1.57, and our D value is 295. So what I've done is I've copied that equation into our notes. So I've entered the data, I've calculated the sinusoidal regression equation. Now let's continue reading what the question was asking. Geordie got on the Singapore Flyer at noon and rode it 4 consecutive rotations. His friend Yale was in a building directly across from the Singapore Flyer at a height of 400 feet. When was Geordie level with Yale for the 5th time? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph y2 equals 400. So I'm going to go into my y equals, I'm going to go to my y2, and I'm going to put in 400. That's the level of Yale. That's the height Yale is in the other building. Then I'm going to graph it. Okay, so this is where I'm starting, down here at 0. Okay, and then as Geordie is riding the Ferris wheel, he's coming up, 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 and then when he reaches 400 feet, he's going to be at the same level as his friend Yale, and then he's going to be higher, he's going to come back down, he's going to be again at the same level as his friend Yale, and then he's going to go down, and then on his next loop around the wheel, he's going to reach the height that Yale was again. So this is the first time he's level with Yale, second time, third time, fourth time. We want to know the 5th time that Geordie was level with Yale. So if you just scroll over to the right, you should be able to It's not working. Okay, go to your window and let's just make our X maximum maybe 100. Make that a bit bigger. All right, so now we can see the 5th time that Jordy is level with Yale. So to find out what that time is, we're going to press second calc. We're going to go to 5 intersection. We're going to scroll over so that we are near the 5th intersection. Press enter 3 times. And it says that Jordy was level with Yale at 85.85 minutes. So we want to look at our x value because our x value represents time. So Jordy was level with Yale for the 5th time at 85.85 minutes. And we're done.